Hey, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, I greet you. you know, Sometimes you feel like I greet you in the name of the Lord. I'm so happy again. I am able to come to you with a story with Apostle Patrick. I first want to give my apology to the many people that I was not able to reach. I have received very many calls and people writing back to me saying, what happened with the story? The story is still there, but sometimes, believe you me, I will find myself in a place where I can't get time to sit down and record or talk. But I am here today, and I'll give you a very short story just to tell you that tomorrow I'll be back with a bang. The story goes like this. There is, there was a whale and a monkey. Probably I mentioned this passing, but let me tell you the real story, what happened. A monkey and a whale were good friends. And for a long time, a monkey would come down the tree. By the beach, they would meet with a whale, and they would talk and enjoy. When animals used to talk. So they kept the relationship for a long time. Many years later, the whale came to the shore, and they called the monkey and said, you know what, monkey? We have been friends, and we only meet here by the shore. How about you coming for a dinner at my home? Oh, it pleased the monkey to join the whale deep in the sea, to go, or the ocean, to go and enjoy, a meal. So, but how does the monkey get there? The monkey was told, don't worry, just get on my back, we shall go. Wow, the idea was great. The monkey jumped on the back of a whale and they began the journey. When they were down almost halfway, the whale was sympathetic to the monkey and said, you know what? Really, there is no party down there. But my mother was diagnosed with a very serious sickness. And when the doctors under the sea or the ocean checked, they said the only treatment is if only you can get a heart of a monkey. And the whale came to the mother, now told the friend of a monkey that very soon I'll die if I don't get medicine, which is the heart of a monkey. Do you know of a monkey where we can get the heart? Of course, the whale thought, I know of one monkey who is my friend. Now, as they were going down, now the monkey was told the story. He said, oh, I'm sorry. Your mom is sick. I wish you told me. Because we monkeys, when we travel, we don't carry our hearts. We remove our hearts and hang them on the tree. So when you asked me to accompany you for this journey, I had to do what we monkeys do. So I removed my heart and I hung it on the tree. I wish you told me before we left. So the whale said, don't worry, I can take you back. Let's go back, pick the heart, then we can go. And the monkey was very happy. So, if I remove it and I survive, I can give it to you if that will save your mother. They went back. The monkey jumped out of a whale's back and they ran up the tree, climbed the tree. Do you need to be told that the monkey never went back? You can also figure out, if you are the monkey, what could you have done? Many years ago, when I learned that story, I was a child. And my late father reminded me that, of course, every time we would sit by the fireplace talking with my father, you give me a story, and the question you ask me after that is, what lesson do you learn from the story? Or what is the moral lesson that you learn from the story? Now, stories are not stories. You must get something out of every story. Sometimes people tell me, oh, your stories make me laugh. And I'm like, stories are not supposed to make you laugh. They communicate a certain message that you should get, and they make it work for you in life. What are the things you need to understand out of a story? Number one, you need to watch out the relationships that you are in. Some of you that are listening to me, you have good friends. As long as things are good, they are like, oh, you are my friend, I love you. You know, the world would have been without flavor if you are not born. That's when things are good. You need to ask yourself, if their mothers were unwell, and they were told, we need a heart of a human being, could they come for your heart? You need to think about that. Some of us are in relationships that you value so much. And every time you talk and you put a full stop, you go thinking you have talked and finalized. But you do not know that after that, people go on and they extend your talk. And that's where things go wrong. When you start talking again, you realize things never stopped where you stopped. How are your friends? Are they friends that you can trust? Are they friends that when you say something, you find those ones that you spoke flying because they are given wings to fly? I do not know. Think about that. Lesson number 2, you need wisdom to navigate every trouble in life. The monkey could have died. I know you say, that monkey was a liar. No, the monkey was not a liar. My father told me, you need to understand to differentiate between wisdom and lies. I know this is either a theological debate or an ethical debate. I'll leave it at you. But one day, I took my son for a theater event to go through some teeth, for a dental issue, where he had to go to a theater. And as we were walking towards the theater, my son, small as he was, looked up on me and said, Daddy, will you leave me alone? I said, no. Will you let them eject me? I said, no, son. And when we were just next to the doctor, I remember he sensed some danger. He started running back. And the doctor said, Kashike, get hold of him. And I got hold of him. Within a short time, some Valium was put on his mouth. And of course, he breathed it, and there he was, sedated. And I saw him lie there, helpless. And of course, the doctors escorted me outside. I'll be a liar if I tell you I did not cry, because I did. Man, I felt like Abraham going with his son Isaac, and his son asking him, Daddy, where is the sacrifice? I see the fire, and I see the firewood, but I cannot see the sacrifice. And the man, Abraham, would say, son, don't worry, at the mountain shall be provided. Now, I remember asking people in our church, do you think I lied to my son, telling him, I'll be with you, you'll not be ejected, and all the promises? One man answered back, and I think I got solace in that answer. He said, no, you did not lie to him. That is called management. In other words, I was managing my son. But I want to say this, you need wisdom in life. This monkey would have lost his life if it just said, oh, no, I can't give my heart. No, but the monkey said, we don't travel with our hearts. That is what saved that monkey. Some people need to gather intelligence. Some people need to know how to answer questions. Jesus was asked, are you the king of Israel? And what did he say? You say so. He did not say yes, I did not say no. Now, you also need to know in life, there are times when you don't have to give a yes or an answer, or no as an answer. You need to know that life demands sometimes an explanation. And sometimes life demands that you keep quiet. Wisdom in life is you must know when to talk, and you must know what to say when you talk. If you must say something, figure it very well that it will not be used against you. This monkey was very sharp. But also think about the whale. She was sympathetic to the mother. And we also need to think about when our parents get to a place where they need us. I want to encourage someone and say, you also need to learn to sacrifice for relationships that matter. We may bash this whale, maybe the son or the daughter, I guess it was the son. We may bash him and say, how could you sacrifice your son relationships are in levels. This man was to, this will was to choose between the friend and the mother and decided to go with the mother. It helps us to know that these relationships that we keep are also in levels. I also sympathize with the will, the son, because losing the mother would mean that really you have lost a very special person, or you have lost someone very special in your life. And I want to ask, do you consider your parents as very special? Can you sacrifice for your mother and for your father? Let me also say, I know there are people who always say, oh, my mother was not there for me, my father was not there for you. I know people have experiences, some good and some very bad. But in the course of my study and my listening to people, I have always concluded one thing. A parent must never be ignored. I am in record having told people, if your mother or your father is a witch, please go back, thank her, thank him, and say, thank you for buying witchcraft that was so selective. It could not kill me when it was killing others. Or it never made me go mad when others were going mad. That is a way of thanking your parents. Please do something. Remember your parents. Can you sacrifice for your parents? You know, some people don't know that parenting is sacrifice. To be a parent, I tell you the truth, you have to sacrifice a lot. But children sometimes don't know that we are who we are today because our parents sacrificed for us. The sacrifice of your mother or your father may not be like the sacrifice of my father or my mother. Maybe your mother could not take you to school. Mine took me to school. But I can assure you, the fact that you are alive, it means she chose to keep you alive than to take you alive. Maybe you are listening and you have a question. I'll be very happy to answer that question. Let me first check before I go very far. I've always said the reason why I love being live is because I'm able to answer a question. Brian, thank you. Watch out relationships that you keep. Yes, you need to do exactly that. Let me go further and also mention something else as you keep relationship. This way also was coming to take the friend. And the friend, of course, was wise enough, did not intend to die. Let me say something concerning, about this thing as well. In life, you need boundaries. This monkey should have had boundaries of the far we can go, even with the friends. Now, all these years, the monkey was ready. But see what happened. It messed up. The day you break the boundaries, you'll get it wrong. Let me say this. In life, you need to have boundaries. In life, there are things that we say, this is a non-negotiable. Beyond here, I will not go. Sometimes things are so enticing. People say, if you come, this and this will happen. Don't be enticed. Sometimes it could be a meal. Sometimes it could be money. Are there boundaries you have put for yourself? This monkey should have remained on his tree and let the whale be in the ocean. But the day she decided, I can join you, see what was about to happen. In life, you need boundaries. Job said something very powerful. I guess it was Job 31 or thereabout, verses 1, or 32 verses 1. And he said, I have made a covenant with my eyes that I will not look at a virgin lustfully. In other words, Job is saying, I have my own eyes, but it is for me to keep boundaries. But we also know there's another man, his name is Joseph. Joseph was given an opportunity of his life to sleep with his boss's wife. But see, everybody had been sent away. Of course, there were no CCTV cameras that time. The only eye that Joseph knew was watching over him was the eye of the Lord. The Bible says the eye of the Lord goes to and fro, watching over us. And now he says, I cannot do such a thing against my God. Although he had an opportunity, he decided he has boundaries. He says, my Lord has entrusted everything in his kingdom, everything into my life, except for you, except you. But still, he did not fear the boss. He says, how can I do such a thing against my God? Do you have boundaries? Do you have non-negotiables? What would you do if you are given a chance? I want to say, learn to travel, but sometimes leave your heart behind. I believe next time we meet and next time we talk, we shall talk about your heart. Do you have your heart? Have you carried your heart? Let me also say, Brian, thank you. You need wisdom to navigate situations. Yes, learn to sacrifice for relationships you value. And also, in life, you need boundaries. If there was a question, I would answer. But let me ask you, so that when you watch this now or later, you can give your take. Do you have boundaries in your relationships? Whether opposite sex relationships, how far do you go? What time do you call? Beyond here, I cannot go. Number 2, are there relationships that you sacrifice for? Number 3, do you have wisdom to help you navigate issues in life? This monkey was very wise. He says, I don't travel with my heart. Do you travel with your heart? The day we hear you have done something that you should not have done, probably we shall tell you, you traveled with your heart. We look forward to seeing you next time, and when we meet, we shall talk more. However, yes, Brian, sometimes leave your heart behind. I agree with you. Asha, thank you, Asha. Asha says, how far can you go with sacrifices in your relationship? How far should it be? I'll tell you, Asha, that's a very good question. Every relationship has its level and degree. You can actually give what is directly proportional to what it gives. For example, if you have to sacrifice for a friend you got to know yesterday, may be different from a friend you knew 2 years ago. Number 2, it has to go with the investment that relationship has meant. So not every relationship will need equal measure of sacrifice. So you have to balance. And sometimes sacrifice may not mean dying, you know. It means going an extra mile and allowing something to cost you. That's exactly what I mean. Thank you, Aja. Should it be in line with the level of our relationship? Yes, I think I've mentioned that. It is in the level of our relationship. Some people may really need a lot of your sacrifice, but they don't qualify. But always remember, don't travel with your heart. You know, I think I've done so much for today. I want to welcome you to our show tomorrow. I'll be there with a great friend of mine, and we'll be talking about relationships. It will be great. Please come. On Thursday, if you are a parent, we have a great teacher of the word, Dr. Sami Gitari. He is coming to our church, Gospel Celebration Church, and guess what you'll be doing? Teaching us on issues parenting. Every parent needs to be there. If you know a friend, invite that friend. Tell them at GCC, there will be a great time there. Should it be in line? Yes, I've answered that. So I want to stop at that. I know I said I'm going to do a short one. This was indeed short. The best you can do is keep on sharing. Let me hear what you have to say. And in case I need to respond, I can respond later. From my side, I want to say thank you. God bless you. Shalom.